and John Bon Jovi have signed up with legendary music executive Irving Azoff in the hopes of earning more money every time their songs are played.
We spoke to editor Chris Palmieri about Azoff's new compensation scheme.
Irving Azoff is a legendary manager of, he got his start in the early 70s with the Eagles and all those great singer-songwriters of that era, and has always been one of the toughest guys negotiating-wise in a very difficult business, is now tackling radio because he sees their format as being really outdated. The compensation for artists was really hashed out in the 30s and 40s and hasn't changed at all since then, and that's been his big push lately.
So what is that push specifically?
Well, he's got a group of artists, some of the biggest names in the business, Bruce Springsteen, Drake, Pharrell Williams, The Who, Bon Jovi, and he's saying, look, this is a lot of big part of what you radio stations play. This is where you're generating your advertising, and instead of the 4% we're collecting for songwriters, we want a lot more, maybe as much as 25%.
Well, and let's throw into this all of the streaming services that are out there, right? Because it's been contentious, too, in terms of between artists and those services about what they should be paid, whether we're talking about Pandora or Spotify or Apple Music. How does that kind of fit into it? Because music does have several different avenues today.
Right, well, it does fit into it because Azoff says he's been able to get deals that he's happy with a lot of these new streaming services. And we're really seeing the power shift a bit. I mean, the music industry was just on its backs for years and as the CD collapsed. But now it's growing again thanks to Spotify and the other streaming services, and the artists are now seeing that they have a little more leverage than they used to.
The radio stations, certainly those that play music, they need the content, they need the material, and the artists really want to be played because that's truly still their biggest audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a sort of a love-hate relationship with radio. I mean, the sort of the issue of payola was going on for years, and artists always felt like they were taken advantage of, and so I think with this new medium, it's actually creating a competitor to radio that radio has to take notice of.
In the Pursuit section, a